This is a huge Minecraft prison that I've built for my huge Minecraft world, and it's super scary inside of it, so let's look at it in this video. But of course, before I begin, click subscribe for more Minecraft world updates like this. So yeah, I'm actually in the middle of my Minecraft world out in the ocean, and this is like the, it's just frozen ocean, right? And then over here is the Netherguard prison, which sounds super creepy. My inspiration was from Harry Potter, like Azkaban. So this is where, if this world ever becomes a server, this is where the banned players will go. I had an idea. I don't know if there's actually servers where you can do this on, but if you get banned, instead of actually having it so players can't join the world, you just set them in a cell in the prison. So they can join, but they'll be stuck forever here. And if anyone just has a temporary ban, maybe just put them in this prison. But yeah, this is Netherguard prison. It sounds super scary, because it is. So let's go inside of it. Right, so this is the sort of lobby, I guess. It's very dark in here. Bam, here we go. So there's a few rooms on each side, and then of course the rest of the prison you got the vaults, like the cells. I mean the prison cells. So it goes up super high and super down below. So I do want to first go over these three rooms, and then we will get into the main stuff. Right, so this is the kitchen and supply room. So if we go into here, you can see we got a kitchen that is poorly built. It just as a placeholder, I guess. So this is also where the supplies will go. And yeah, that's basically it. Next we got this door over here, which you could see is the prisoner storeroom. So of course, people who are arrested and have things on them, they will definitely need a place to put all the stuff that they had on them. So this is where it'll all go. There's a lot of chests in here, which is kind of crazy. And so, you know, just put a sign on the chest with their name and there you go. That's where all their items will go if they're arrested, right? And then finally, the last room here is the prisoner courtroom. So in case they need to do like an emergency trial or something, they have a courtroom ready here. If they can't go to the grand courts, at least they have this room, right? Which, I mean, I would not want to be tried here. It looks pretty insane. All right. But yeah, now we can move on to the main cells. Basically, every floor is the same, except for like some in the basement area. So let's just choose a random floor, like this one. So the idea is people get locked inside of there. And these things are so you can pass like food through to the prisoners without having to open the door. So be careful what you put in here. Don't smuggle things. But aside from that, these are like, it's crazy how many cells there are. Like, you can see what the inside looks like. First of all, you get a toilet and a sink and a bed, and that is it. This also doubles as a camera, so watch out. But yeah, look at that. They're all the same rooms. The exact same setup. It's super boring. You do it, you just stay in your cell all day. No fresh air, and because it's like right out in the frozen ocean, it's super cold in these cells. Like there's no there's no heating. You just get bars as well here. So if you go into one of these rooms, this is what it looks like. At least these guys have a window, like a room with a window. Not every room has that. So if you ever get banned on the server and you're put into one of these cells, pray that you get one with a window. But then of course, if you go further down into the depths, we're not going to go all the way because it just takes forever to get through it all. You can see it's still the same, but now you get rooms without proper windows. See, it's shut off because you're below the water level now. So, you know, select people get window access, but most people won't get anything like that. It's kind of spooky. I would not want to be here. So if you ever get sentenced or proven guilty of a crime, this is where you're going to end up, Netherguards. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so guys, we are back at spawn in Timecraft version 11.5. I still have to change the name Timecraft. I don't like it, but I don't know what to name it yet. So here we go. Let's start. I moved the central hall south of Central Castle. What does that mean? I kind of forgot. Right, so I remember this building. I believe last episode I talked about this building. It's now the city hall for Central. It's kind of a lame city hall, honestly. It's just, I did the bare minimum work in here. Central is a huge city, and honestly, this should just be, just knock it down, honestly. But I didn't know where to put the city hall because I replaced the city hall building. And that goes into this part here. The old Central Hall was changed into the President's House. Why is there a villager out here? What? Bro, get back in there. Get back to the village. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so this used to be the Central City Hall, right? But now this is the president's house because I just thought it looks really cool and honestly was a weird shape to be a city hall anyway. So now it's the president's house. Whoever's elected president on this server, this is your house, bro. It's pretty neat. It's a historical building, I guess. It used to be the old government building and stuff. It has some interesting history to it, so, you know, pretty cool. Thought it'd be interesting to turn into like a president's house, you know, pretty cool. Like for now, I'm the president, but I choose not to live there. I don't know why. In the politics board, I think I talk about it. Yeah. King Timeworks talks of retiring from president. Bam, first non-monarch president, wow. I also opened the Nexus core. And so the Nexus core, actually there's a few on here that I'm going to combine. I also finished Nexus City, and I opened the Nexus map room. So I'm combining those three because there's so many updates with the Nexus, and obviously you can see some of the updates here. I expanded the rail line that would go to Ocean Guard, and I built a bridge all the way up to the Nexus. So now the Nexus was always supposed to be the transportation hub, and now the rail line is connected to it, so just another addition. But that's not even the biggest like transportation update with the Nexus. I want to show you this. So the highway got expanded from Chucka City out to here, but now I finally connected it into the big ball. It goes around here and the highway continues probably off to other cities. But yeah, I actually connected this here, so we have the exits and stuff, so people on the freeway would drive inside this tunnel. And there's an intersection here where you could choose to go back to the freeway or you could go up to the Nexus. So you would just drive up this sort of winding road, which I guess is kind of unsafe if this wasn't Minecraft and instead of real life, but this is Minecraft, okay, it's okay. And so here we got a parking lot, so people with cars could drive into the Nexus and appear here. It's pretty cool. Now I do want to show you how to get inside of the Nexus from here, because all you got is a parking lot, and you can actually access the entire city from here. So you just go down the stairs, and of course you got the elevators, so the Nexus. Jump, yeah. That wasn't even that high of a jump. Oh my god. So anyway, here we are inside the Nexus. We all know what this building does. It's a huge teleportation hub in my world, but the very epic part is that that's not all that I did here. So this right here was something that I have been putting off for a while, the Nexus map room. So this was just all blocked off, but now you can go up here and we finally have the map room. So this is a map of the entire world. The grand map room in Chucka City has a more detailed version, like we include a village that's all the way out here, but this is the main highlight of the world anyway, so it cuts off the sort of irrelevant parts. So as a player, you could come into the Nexus and walk across these barriers because it's like an invisible floor, and just check out everything. So what do we got? We got the Nexus, which you kind of get in spoilers up there. You could, okay. I did update this map again, because there were just so many things that changed. And then over here, of course, is the prison that we just talked about. Netherguard, that's where it is. I thought it would have been a lot more in the middle of the ocean, but when you think about it, it is pretty far out, but the maps just sort of scale it down, so I don't know. So going into Nexus City, I finally completed the city. So I talked about adding details to the city, and I finally did. Pretty cool, huh? So I added a floor, like a pathway, and I added street lamps that are kind of weird looking, but it feels like they belong in this city of all places. I also added just little details everywhere, including grass. I thought that would have been an important thing to include, right? A lot of plants up here. And then I also added these sort of like ropes with a bunch of lanterns and banners. You could interpret them as wires, maybe connecting all of the buildings together or something. I don't know. It's just pretty cool. So the whole city's done, even the last building, which is actually a farm. So I think we got some animals in here. Yeah, pigs, chicken, cow, and then over here just a farm, right? Pretty cool. But yeah, it is pretty cool seeing the city finally complete. Like, out of all the places in this world, this is where I would want to live. It's just so cool. Like, what are you doing here? Okay, I think the best way to really go through it all is if you were to just explore it yourself. So yeah, that's all the changes in Nexus City. It's pretty neat. Alright, let's continue. I moved these central prisons. So what happened is I made Netherguard and I was like, okay, but we also used to have prison cells right out here. But after I thought about it, having it right in the middle of the government capital was kind of weird. Why would there be prison cells there? So I moved them, and now we have more offices that are free for government employees and stuff, and just a nicer looking lobby down here, you know? Looks a lot better. And so I put the prison cells actually in spawn, so if you do get arrested here and it's not a super serious crime so that you're not taken to Netherguard, you'll just be brought down here. Check that out. Prison cells. Yep. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so moving on, I opened the Central Gardens. So I felt that Central should have a graveyard instead of the only graveyard being in Chukka City. So if a player dies in this world and they don't want to come back, they have the option to just be buried, I guess. So this is their graveyard, right? Most of them are empty, like the goal is to have it all filled up. I mean, I guess that's hopefully not the goal, but whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was a pretty cool addition. Not much, like there's no one actually buried here though, but it does look cool. Especially because it's out here, it makes sense, I feel, having all these important buildings and stuff right near spawn in the capital city, right? Alright, so moving on from that, I opened the Arclife Foundation. So this one's rather interesting. So moving on from Central, remember I added this city here that I was planning to like put buildings in? I have sort of started. I put 2 buildings in already, which is like, this one's very similar to a building in Chukka City. We have another McDonald's here, but the furnishing's different. But an interesting building is this sort of half sphere out here, which is kind of like, what is this place? And it is the Arclife Foundation. So inside here you can go through their database, and you can also request being saved. And then they have their servers here. And that's all I'm going to say about this. I can't spoil it. There's really cool ideas coming with the Arclife Foundation. And for the history of this world, you know, there's going to be a lot of cool progression and history, especially when this becomes a server. So we'll have to wait and see what that is. So next up, I moved Castle Meadows. So this building is one that has been in here for a very long time. It's this building right here, and this is the 3rd location it has ever had. And so originally it used to be right in front of this creeper, like right here. And then I decided to move it to the other side of the castle, which is all the way over here. It was right beside this tall building, just sitting right there. And then I thought, okay, it's kind of far from its original location. So then I moved it the 3rd and final time, hopefully. And now it's right here. So these are like high-end apartments in the city of Central, I think. It's a pretty cool building. It's one of the oldest for sure, which is why I felt like it should be closer to its original location. And you know, it's pretty cool. So that's where it is now. So then finally, because we already sort of covered this one with the Arclife thing, I edited the grand map room. It's so laggy because of the frame. So what I did is I just put white maps over the blank frames because it looked ugly. So now it looks a lot more clean. And here you can see what I was talking about. We have the main chunk of the world that is in the Nexus map room. But then in the grand map room, we have this here, which shows Stimston, which is a very stupid village. But eventually one day we will have this whole grid filled out if there's enough cities that are built and stuff. So that'll be cool. And so yeah, really that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed that episode of my world, you know, all these updates, click subscribe because I have a lot more plans coming. Some really cool details and builds for a huge project in the future on Timeworks. So be sure to click subscribe for that. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, fly on.